Pierre, I can't take the suit. You will need it too. I don't feel right. Stay with me.
I see it now. We were all so entertained. We didn't see what was getting ready in the shadow. No, leave them alone. Looks like scientific documents, but I can't decipher what's written. This nightmare again. Completely locked. I miss listening to Pierre. He always used crazy effects on his guitar. Pierre's tape collection. Insomnia will be a nice excuse to put it in order. Might even find some of the music he made for me. I could use the comforting. Damn. When dust settles on your sport trophies, it doesn't mean you are getting younger. My life turned into an item. Round and round we go, stuck at the same track. You come with me, my friend. It would get lonely without you. It's so dusty here. I could use a vacuum to clean the vacuum. Nothing. Oh, forgot I found this old journal around town yesterday. Apparently they installed a secondary generator in the old lighthouse years ago. The extra current could help me out in my search for the other inhabitants. Let's check it out today. At least I know I can always find the things I leave in here. Another undeniable friend. Would be easy to get lost without it. I am a living experiment on sugar. Since the day of the attack, I stopped counting. Not sure it matters anyway. believe we moved with all these books. The worst part is, we most likely have doubles. I left my gun in the shanty yesterday. Time to get it back. Without you, I wouldn't stand a second out there. Last time was very close. I need to keep up with my training. Two to go. And the last one. Now, let's warm up for some dodging. Okay, I'm ready. Huh. Better be faster. Huh. 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 Now, rappel training. Next time, you will think twice about getting in my safe space. The former owner had to do a lot of tinkering to screw up such a mess. Training's over. Getting out there seems a little bit less scary now. This watch creeps me out. I better be home before the night. La Vieille Chaloupe, restaurant and brewery. Fresh fish straight from the port. I sure hope the products are fresher than this poster. Thomas Levins. Fixing pipes is all right. Now try with my life. When things get back to normal, you'll have plenty to do, my friend. You again? At the edge of this cliff stands the famous flower house of St. Exel. It was given by its owner to the village, which still contributes to maintaining the quality of its gardens. Still inhabited, the building is regularly open for heritage events. In a different scenario, I would have stayed here for hours with a book. You have to admit, the view is quite nice. Attention, following the latest storms, the coastal path is damaged. Certain trees marked with an orange cross present a risk of falling on hikers and must be felled. These can fall due to the slightest gust of wind. The village really isn't investing in its infrastructure, and storms make it even more problematic. This tree was marked to be felled. It could make a nice bridge. It's hurt, but that won't be enough. A storm could help. Psilocybe phosphorus, recognizable by its phosphorescent dress. It made its appearance a short time ago in the region of St. Exel. With its lightning growth capacity, it is able to grow in a single day. Ripe, they can be enjoyed by some coastal birds. Interesting. Maybe I should gather some of these. Hope the police will not catch me with these shrooms. This buoy clearly defines what St. Exel is. A small, isolated fishing village where time seems slowed down or even frozen. A usually calm place where the haunting sound of the waves punctuates your day. Happy to see some boats were spared by these mad cultists. This door requires electricity. It's like someone just came for this incredible spectacle and forgot his bicycle. But these things were not here before the attack. Access to the top of the lighthouse is condemned. Oh, Kren, why did you have to be so grim? Because of recent events, a lot of circuit breakers were stolen from the electrical gates. While we wait to receive more, we keep the last one inside the equipment locker. In the meantime, don't hesitate to use the same one on different gates. A bit unexpected for a lighthouse. These cables go all the way to the ceiling. So, this is where the electricity of St. Exel is largely generated. The turbine shouldn't be too far. Looks like a lot of security for simple maintenance equipment. All right. Nothing. This is a complete mess. It's like they pushed everything to the side to make room for something else. It automatically locked the doors behind me. Local police apparently suspect the cult has started kidnapping people. It is indeed curious so many people would disappear without leaving a note. Their last ritual site is located near the lighthouse, at the Point des Mâles. Might be worth checking out. Someone left a note for his coworkers. Franck is so fed up that we keep forgetting his birthday that he has set the day and the month as the padlock code. Can someone change that back to the inauguration date? So, what is your code, Frank? All right. Should work better with that on. It's completely stuck. completely stuck. Watchtower schedule and system monitoring. The entire workforce is listed on the board. Something is written here, too. Could anyone pick up Frank's shifts for the upcoming weeks? Nicholas system? That's probably where the town's additional current is monitored. It's a bit much for just a common lighthouse. I can probably restart the system from here? Once the pressure is fixed. So, they had to make space for these machines? They do not seem to belong in a lighthouse. Good thing nobody can find them here. The documents on this desk look much more confidential than the previous ones. This place appears to be a government cell dedicated to recording underwater sound activity off the village. And this has been going on for a while. But I don't see what they're trying to find. They appear to be studying something at the bottom of the sea that is moving at precise coordinates. On April 17th, 1991, they recorded a signal which they define as organic. The signal was recorded on a cassette to be sent urgently to the DGSE because this would jeopardize the military security of the country. But one of the lighthouse maintenance staff apparently stole the tape? They quickly managed to identify him and where he lives. Wait, this is my house! Let's put on some music. Apparently, multiple people were working here. Alright, so now I need to fix these colored cables in the right order.
1, 2. 1, 2. That worked? Okay. Damn machine. I'm finally starting to understand what's going on here with the electricity. A priori, everything revolves around the lighthouse. I consulted many old newspapers, and the Village Gazette told me that St. Exel was very poorly served by electricity and regularly suffered severe power cuts. I knew that it was a very isolated village, which is what makes it so charming, but I hadn't thought of that. Half of the articles in the Gazette are devoted to the inhabitants who, tired of the cuts, ended up installing small wind turbines for their homes. The other half is about the lighthouse, and that's where it gets interesting. I read that the mayor of the village had installed underwater turbines connected to the building, which are capable of producing electricity thanks to the movement of the sea. This has enabled the village to gain autonomy and to overcome the failures of the general electrical network. Anyway, I think it would be worth going to take a look at the lighthouse, because if the turbine system is damaged, it could explain why some electrical equipment is out of order while others are still working. I'll tell you what I found. Fourth day that I'm stuck. I'm not gonna make it here. They terrify me. I don't know what to do. They hunt me like an animal. They have taken on a human form, but there is nothing human about them. They come out of nowhere without you expecting it and materialize in a kind of elusive black vapor. And I can't do anything against them. I don't know how to fight them. I found a weapon, but I'm struggling to use it, and I'm always out of bullets. There's even more of them at night. They swarm like cockroaches. I have to shut myself up at home as soon as night falls. And they prevent me from leaving this cursed village, Pierre. As soon as I try to leave St. Exel, they arrive by the thousands and they get me. If they catch me, I wake up in my bed and it's been hours, maybe even a whole day. I'm their prisoner. I would like to tell you about the bracelet you gave me right after we arrived here. You found that gem on the beach and crafted it into this beautiful piece of jewelry. You told me that you felt that this pebble had something special, that it radiated. Well, you were right, you know? He protects me from the monsters I told you about. If I smack it against the ground, it produces a shock wave that violently repels ghosts. Sometimes, he can even dissolve them when they attack me. He is so strong that I decided to name him Rocky, since it's a rock. But Rocky is also a sensitive guy, you know? He doesn't like explosive noises. If I shoot a gun in his ear, he can even start a thunderstorm. At that moment, I feel transported to another reality, to another time. And once calm returns, I have the impression that it only lasted a few seconds, whereas about 15 minutes had actually passed. Better to use it sparingly. Sometimes I feel like he's almost alive. He gets lazy at the end of the day, especially if I made him work a lot. But, hey, nothing a good night's sleep can't fix. Anyway, all that to say that he reminds me a bit of you. It's probably silly, but I feel like you're watching over me through him. And that helps me hold on. I can't take this dream anymore. I wake up in this dusty tunnel-shaped cave. It is essentially made up of some kind of light-absorbing rocks, like the ones the insides of a planet would create. I go through this hallway and come across the ghosts that haunt me. But this time they don't try to catch me. There are also military and scientific equipment. I can't tell if they are studying or planning to attack something. A sheet of heavy smoke waits for me at the end, and it's too thick to see behind, and I'm attracted like a moth is to light. The closer I get to the exit, the more I hear ringing, until I realize it's my alarm, and I wake up like nothing happened, and at the same exact hour as usual, 8 a.m. If somebody finds this journal, gone nuts apparently. Do what you want with that information, or shove it somewhere warm.
From the depth of the sea, his anger spreads through our families. This sounds terrifying. Wondering what's that thing they mention all the time. Despite the mess the protesters left behind, you're still offering comfort, aren't you? They love leaving these tape boxes for their propaganda. Listen to us. Join the devoted. Maybe I should listen to it.
Dear people of Saint-Exil, this message.
Franck, the 19th of March, 1967.
It's for you. I know our local authorities have been breaking their backs, picturing us as fools. Do not listen to this nonsense. Our actions are dedicated to all of you. Once the day comes, those who denied will finally see the truth with their eyes. The distant shall all be remembered. You are all invited to our next ceremony. This Friday, join us in the writing of birthdays on the departed boat. Let's put the world to rights. It's the only way now.
This is one of the places of contemplation in St. Exil. It was vandalized just before everything went down. Only one destination for you, my bag. You can't stop, can you? The soldiers were perfectly organized and cut off all access. We had almost zero chance of escaping this mass kidnapping. Like sheep in the dark. I can still smell the perfume of stamps and papers. But no one will come to pick up the mail tonight. Long time no see, Wassos Park. Ahead, the beach and Assumption Church. Right, viewpoint. Beach access and renovation. I am the repairman in charge of fixing this gate. I've found a way to supply current to this unpredictable electrical panel. I've linked it to one of the small wind generators we have in the village. As long as there is wind, there will be current. Only issue is that while I was fixing it, one of those freaking birds stole the key from my van. If you find them, please bring them to my office. Mr. Levins. Park mausoleums were not spared by the cult either. They are a real scourge for this village. Only one destination for you, my bag. Amongst birds living in the park, you will find the Corvus picatrix. I know you, you little flying thief. They keep their precious loot inside their beak, which makes it really hard to get back. To prevent such situations, scarecrows were installed by local farmers. I don't think I can get used to it.
Je le veux. Tu la laisses pas s'échapper.
I feel that the wind turbine is going to need a little help from me to launch. Sweet! It was enough to start the turbine! Let's take a walk, just you and me.
Solve this puzzle and win a coin to use in George's workshop.
No puzzle can resist me. Amongst birds living in the park, they keep their precious loot to prevent such situations. Scarecrows were installed by local farmers. There's a thieving crow's nest right up there. As expected, it has something in its beak, but it will only leave its nest if it appears safe to do so. I could not finish fixing this fence because the damn bird stole my van's key, where all my tools are. I've been trying to get them back, but it's nested high up and I can't seem to attract it. If you manage to get my keys back, please call me at the number written on my truck, Mr. Levins. That will teach you to look at me sideways. Birdie, it's between you and me now. Take that! -1. Birdie should feel free to leave its nest now. Now I need to attract it. It left its nest. There. We told you stealing was bad. Now, I only need to find the truck.
You yield.
Nothing. I loved that statue. Well, before the cult vandalized it. Perfect. Probably not an organized. Excellent.
Hello, Mr. Levant. I'm calling you because I have, again, a problem with the digital code that you installed last year. As I can't see very well at night, I asked you to make each key sound different. But for a few days when I entered the code you gave me, 2 keys no longer make noise. Listen! Could you contact me when you get my message? This is becoming a real problem for me.
Completely locked. I'm gonna need you. This tablecloth. It makes me think of breakfasts at my grandmother's. I swear I've eaten on the same one. Oof. Come on, Elise.
Tu la laisses pas s'échapper. Tu la laisses pas s'échapper.
I like you. You like me. We should hang. I have already seen this kind of setup. No way they could have been there before? I think I'm going to need a lever. Planks removed. This should... We both knew you couldn't resist me.
Je la veux. Tu la laisses pas s'échapper.
Let's try to push it now. Now the system should be unlocked. I can't open this. This door needs electricity. I remember this moment in my living room. We were both watching a documentary on TV when we discovered St. Exil. We only dreamed of one thing: to live by the sea and change our lives. Nah, nothing of interest in these cars. stay on the floor.
Tu m'aimes? Moi je t'aime.
The beach. Here we go. I think I found the antenna. Behind Boisseau's Park. Left, Assumption's Church. Ahead, Restaurant Panier à Crabe. Nothing. The Keys were a place of the particularly intense fishing that supplied the region. Following the drop in activity, this fishing port was converted into a simple marina. It is always possible at low tide to find fishing traps with shellfish in them. Perfect. This gas pump is probably older than me. Afraid of no boat anymore, are you? You are the one I'm looking for. No storm will be able to bring down such an antenna. Not too professionally closed, the way I like them. What happens if I remove this circuit breaker? Snow? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way in hell. I'll turn into an ice block if I stay like that. I need to get warmer clothes at the house. Fast. Exhibition of original moonstone furniture. Daily menu: mackerel in white wine or mussels marinara. Fisherman's menu: salmon tartare and grilled sea bream. Sounds better than it tastes. Let me guess. You want me to serve you a refreshing perfection. Is that it? Completely locked. A little perfection for the road. A note from the local fishermen about seagulls. Obviously, they spent their time stealing the shellfish from traps. This could have an impact on future deliveries. There is a lot of other information that could be useful to me. I'll write that down. They left a message. For me? I'm going to be curious.
Honey, it's me. I did something stupid. Again. I dropped the key to the restaurant in the gutter in front of the post office, and I can't get it back. I know you have a lot of work with the ending exhibition, but as soon as it's over, can you open to Artisan with the double? I don't understand why so many people are attracted by a stupid secretary that unlocks with the help of light. Our superb cooking skills should be enough for them. In any case, before they start their work, don't forget to store our most important items in this secretary. We'll just have to remember to put them away before reopening the exhibition. And most importantly, don't forget to put inside what the Doro gave us to access their garden. Sorry to be your super mega burden. Love ya.
That's what was making all the noise upstairs. Why is this furniture moving by itself? Am I going crazy? Yes! The light has touched the secretaire. It's probably unlocked now. Dear Rose house key. That's a big one. Probably a gate or something nearby. It's like we instantly changed the season, but not for the better. Damn, I can't use the door because of the snow. I've never seen St. Exel under this amount of snow. Find the positives, Elise. That's good. Now that the town's current is better, I can access the house's attic again. I left my clothes in one of the cabinets in the hall. I knew I had you somewhere.
Wanna be alone.
A little perfection for the road. Nah, maybe later. It's good to keep some rituals. Dear toothpaste, you are breathtaking. I could use a good shower, when this feeling of being observed will stop. It looks like some of Pierre's homemade music for me. I thought it was lost since the moving in. I love that music. Nothing. My lava lamp. I love it. Pierre probably hid it here, out of reach. Can't believe he'd think it's just a passing trend. Poor guy never understood anything about home decor. This suit. I was in the attic with him when everybody disappeared. I remember wearing it, but we just had one.
Ne m'oublie pas.
This tape recorder is helpful during late nights. Don't judge me, Pierre. It's my only way to hear a human voice now. Who cares? Wow, a projector. I thought I would forget its existence with my school years. What is it doing down here? I almost never set foot in here. Nothing. What? What is that? I can't. Let's shed some light on this.
If you're listening to this, you are probably the person sent by the office to continue my investigation. Well, at least I hope. My name is Matthew Banks, and I started this work about a year ago. As stated in my previous reports, I infiltrated the lighthouse last month, but they just found out that a tape was missing, and I think they're onto me now. I used to borrow tapes during the night, but this time they noticed before I could bring them back. I didn't have time to use the new filtering machine, but I left a tape inside it. I hope it's safe there with you. Since I have to leave, I prepared the way for you, and I have regrouped all of my ongoing work onto 3 different boards, each including a guiding tape. The first one gathers my studies on the audio signal coming from the oceanic floor, which was the reason our interest was piqued by St. Exel in the first place. The second board will give you more details on the local cult, whose believers call themselves the Devoted. The third board is about Operation White Medusa, which is probably why you're here now. We are now definitely forced to recognize that the village of St. Exel is the center of great political and scientific interest, as we first suspected. I hate to leave like this, but I'm afraid my time has come. During the last 2 weeks, the lighthouse had trouble acquiring new information from ashore. Apparently some kind of technology has been jamming their signal. Is there some kind of expert trying to hack the operation? I'll leave it to you to find out.
Passports? Money from different countries? This man was not your usual anybody. Oh. And there's also boat tickets to leave for Plymouth, England. He was planning on leaving, just wasn't sure when.
If you're listening to this, you are probably the person.
What is this folder? Your next objective. I'll study that during the night. A bit of reading always helps.
In 1977, an ultra-low frequency sound was picked up by scientists south of the Atlantic Ocean. But no one succeeded in identifying the structural composition of this acoustic phenomenon, and many theories were put forward. Spy submarine, human aeronautical activities on the surface, or even tests of explosives resonating through the abyss. The case remained closed for 2 years, until a second sound was recorded 2,000 kilometers from Namibia. This time, the subject worried specialists. The position of the 2 recordings suggests the movement of something. In 1984, the sound was picked up again, several times around the Bermuda Triangle. Governments in many countries decided to classify all information about this issue as confidential, and the general public was kept away. While tracking other countries' progress, our secret services discovered in '86 that the French government was particularly interested in the matter, and that they put in motion a special program called Rorqual, a scientific project mainly dedicated to the understanding of unknown oceanic noises. We then decided in 1987, based on what we found in the village of St. Exel, and considering that this last signal was recorded off the coast of French Brittany, that it made perfect sense for me to start our investigation here. During my time, I discovered a platform for listening and monitoring seismic activities at the heart of the lighthouse. Only recently, and thanks to an information trading deal I made with the cult, I got myself recruited there as a maintenance agent. It allowed me to find that the lighthouse crew is, in fact, following the movement of an object which turns out to be a French military submarine. So was it only a submarine that we tracked from the beginning? But its movements are inconsistent. How did it produce this noise that we regularly pick up? I copied a lot of tapes and left them inside the hideout, but they're all still encrypted. I was hoping to get more information from it, but I spotted a car in front of the house tonight, and it's clearer than ever now that my time to leave has come. Infiltrating the cell in the heart of the lighthouse made me realize that the French government is very concerned about the development of the situation here in St. Exel. The development of the sect, as well as the growing anomalies observed in the population and nature, are monitored in a sustained manner. They came to realize that if they do not act, this situation will eventually draw the attention of the entire country to St. Exel. I had, in my hands, documents detailing an operation called White Medusa, the purpose of which was to methodically isolate and capture everybody in the village. Do they think that the people here are all sick or contaminated with something? Or do they mean to sweep this affair under the rug? They seem to foresee two possible scenarios for carrying out Operation White Medusa. As if by coincidence, there are incidentally two events which attract almost all the population in the same place. The village festival, which takes place during a whole weekend, or a fair organized by the village school. I was able to reconstruct on the map the assaults considered in each of these possible scenarios. A large number of troops will be deployed, and they can easily prevent anyone from escaping by blocking the main accesses and roads. They will proceed using heavy trucks and toxic gas to control and direct the crowd toward them. The inhabitants of St. Exel have a Damocles sword over their head, but they don't know of its existence, nor when it will fall. In many areas, the life in St. Exel has deteriorated sharply in recent years. Local studies tend to show that nature has adopted an abnormal behavior. Some species started proliferating more than before, while others suffered the opposite effect. Some animals became aggressive towards humans, and some bird species completely migrated and left the region for good. We've also seen a lot of upheaval in the behavior of inhabitants of the village and their health. Ultimately, it led to many people leaving, which left only the ones who didn't have a choice. A real change is taking place, and no one seems to understand where it's coming from. Additionally, these extraordinary happenings have been rumored in the region, which isn't improving the situation. The village has become a place of attraction for people bathed in pseudosciences, esoteric and the occult, to say the least. They now see this place as a central home to their mythology. One movement eventually took over the others and established itself as the popular cult, the Devoted. They managed to obtain this importance by being omnipresent in their protests. They vandalized sites in large areas surrounding the village, which made the local press very keen on showcasing them, and ultimately helped a great deal in converting more people to their cause. According to my research, it is governed by a certain Aurora K. I couldn't find a lot of information regarding her, but managed to steal some pictures by following her after a public meeting with the population. She built her movement on the belief in the existence of an abysmal entity which would sow its harmful influence over the region and towards the inhabitants of St. Exel. To calm this underwater entity, they tirelessly seek the culprits for this curse. They unearth and send ashore on deteriorating ships coffins containing the bodies of people who have always lived here. If the boat returns and runs aground on the coast, the person and their family are pardoned. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like they've shifted into high gear by sending people who are still alive to sea. These are just rumors, and people who go missing may have simply decided to leave the area. They never communicated their plans with me regarding the future of their protest, and I'm not sure where they'll meet yet. My theory is that they'll probably regroup either near the White Manor or the local church.
A submarine? In danger? What was the lighthouse doing? Wait, isn't it exactly the same gem I have attached on my bracelet? Where did he find it? He was apparently willing to ship it to be analyzed? His voice still echoes in my head. I need to know more. Let's find that antenna on the village beach.
I can't take this dream anymore.
That circuit breaker inside the antenna. The cult was stealing them. They probably had tons of them. I'm sure it was what was blocking the submarine's communication. The sect seems to know more than what Matthew imagined. He thought the devotees met at the Assumption Church. I will try my luck there. I hate it when it happens. Double bad luck for you. The other manhole is open. I'm going to push that plank.
Je la veux.
Ingeniosity is the key. Completely locked. Now that I have the key, I will finally find out what is hiding behind this restaurant. These docks look different. This side must be less frequented by tourists. The sect has already been there. They were really harassing people wherever they were. They didn't forget to leave their little gifts everywhere.
Residents of Saint-Exile, I observe you, and I see great suffering in you. You are deeply sad, and yet you persist in not wanting to acknowledge it. The situation here has been deteriorating for years, and no one has come up with solutions to your problems. No one wants to face it, but our village is sick at heart. Here and there, some think that a curse has befallen our lands. Well, these people were right. Saint-Exile is not just a village. This place has a soul. If you've lived here long enough, you've definitely felt it shining through its walls, trees, and cobblestones. At least you could feel it. Something has changed. And it has for too long. A dark and silent poison proliferates in the veins formed by our alleys and ends up washing up at the foot of our doors, contaminating us a little more each day. Saint-Exile is not just a village, and its creation is no accident. The ancients never doubted it. Someone, or rather something, greater than us, decided to gather us here a long time ago. He made us build this village and protected our ancestors in exchange for his benevolence. Some of us honor him for that. It is the same entity which today has decided to call you to order and punish you. Unlike you, I never doubted its existence and its great power. It chose me to guide you like a shepherd bathed in the light of his wisdom. Join us so that this nightmare finally ends. From now on, you are aware and cannot go back. If you don't bend to his will, you'll end up paying for it. Only one possible solution is offered to you. Obey!
This door can be unlocked from the other side. This is a sea organ. It turns waves into music. That's poetic. Let's take a walk, just you and me. Town of St. Exel. Following on the storm warning, fishermen's lockers need to be emptied earlier this year. Please get your number plates back on the board and revert your locker's codes to their initial values. P.S. In case you forgot, the initial code is your number plate number. Nothing. Let me get this straight. 2 of the lockers were not emptied, so I need to find 2 boat number plates out there. With a bit of luck, the fishermen didn't change the code. Town of St. Exel. Following on the storm warning, fishermen's lockers need to be emptied earlier this year. Please get your number plates back on the board and revert your locker's codes to their initial values. P.S. In case you forgot, the initial code is your number plate number. Mm-mm. Warning, floating pontoon follows the movement of the tide. The mechanism seems to be stuck because of the low temperatures. I can't push it. This bridge could do with a nudge. Snow and rain? Not a good mix. Wow. It's completely surreal to see this submarine here. Let's take a walk. Just you and me. If ever the washing machine breaks down, I know where Pierre can do my laundry. might need you. You can still see a cog was removed here. Another mission for Elise the Fixer. Oh my god, it's working! Why is it closing? I'm sure it's because of these birds perched on it. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you. That's it. All the birds are busy. Stay this way, please. The church is close now. This house no longer serves as a vicarage, if the full letterbox is anything to go by. The devotees deteriorated his facade to intimidate him. I'm on the right track. Tree cycle. Elise, if you don't understand what's in front of you, it probably means you are facing modern art. Nothing. George's Museum, for the young and less young. Local museum, artisan workshop, exhibition hall. Exceptional summer event. Meet No-No the robot and take part in his treasure hunt. I don't see much. Let's walk with caution. I think I'm going to need a lever. George, with the momentary storm, your windmill system went into safety mode and stopped. I wanted to reactivate it, but I couldn't put my hand back on the lever. In the meantime, the museum will remain in the dark. So you're Nico the robot. You don't seem super friendly for something made to amuse kids. Still, he and the museum look shut down for now. 1990. Inauguration of George's Museum in the company of St. Exel's mayor. Always up to new challenges, the museum is located to attract people to an isolated part of the village. Facing the power supply issues of St. Exel, George electrically autonomized his museum. I have a feeling that we can win gifts and they arrive right in this vase. So, the wind turbines providing him with power stopped working. I wonder where they are. We both knew you couldn't resist me. I should keep an eye on the time. You are on one of the highest points of St. Exel. The Assumption Church was built against the edge of this cliff. This panorama has become an emblematic place for those who like to observe the flora and wildlife of the region. Wow, I finally got there. St. Exel Church. Let's find what this church has in store for me. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Well, they made sure to enjoy today. That's one elaborate sundial. Despite its look, I'm sure people can still use it. But I have a watch.
Il a l'espace s'échapper.
This smell of storage room. I am gonna need a key for this one. This setup looks recent. They probably did it just before the attack on the village. Okay, have some courage, Elise. Transept. Completely locked. Tomb of Father Rouault, abbot who watched over the population of St. Exel. He dedicated his life to the village and the population. He distinguished himself in particular by his taste for religious, spiritual, and cultural texts. The large library of the Assumption Church is in his image. cemetery. It has been condemned by the sect. Nothing. Organ and bell tower. The Angel and the Newborn, unknown artist. This statue is incredible.
The time has come, my friends. Everything has been revealed to me. I understand why the most basic things, like having babies, has been taken from us. Our divinity, that required so much sacrifice, is still not content. The village kids have had it easy for too long. They need to share our burden. It talked to me and asked to surrender them to its will. Generations have forgotten how this village was built. It is time for a history lesson. We place statues to display each person we send to sea. In their anonymity, they remind us of the road still to be endured. But be reassured, my devotees, this road is coming to an end. I found a way to communicate with our protector. It has chosen me as its vessel and talked to me so many times. I will finally be able to answer. A few of us were meeting secretly in preparation for our next and last action. It will all be revealed to you tonight after the festivities. Do not enter the crypt yet. I have the answers you have all been looking for. I will remove this poison from...
This staging was prepared while the population was at the festivities. The population of St. Exil being already fragile. I dare to imagine the trauma of people if they had been exposed to this.
Our life.
It must have taken a lot of time to set up all this staging. A lot of struggling souls probably joined the devotees over time. Interesting. This book traces the entire history of the church and the creation of this cross. I'll take it with me for my bedtime reading. This church seems to hide a lot of secrets from me. The Assumption Memorial Cross. It was created in honor of the people who participated in the prosperity of St. Exil. Looking more closely at the cross, one has the impression that some parts can be interlocked on the sides. The annual High Mass is still maintained for the day after the Feast of the Village. Like previous years, we are expecting many of you. The sect had chosen the right place and the right time to strike a blow. Tomb of the Dureau family who contributed greatly to the creation of the port of St. Exil. The fishing activity was so important that the family built their house at the end of the quays. They thus were the first informed of the contents of the merchants' cargoes in St. Exil. An envied position. The De Vignaux Mausoleum. They played an important part in the development of St. Exil. This family was in charge of the local agriculture. They ultimately defended the village by burning their own crops. The flower house was once their home, but it is now owned by the town. There are no bad moments to officialize a bond. Excellent. I could move faster with such a bike, but with these ghosts on the road, I really wouldn't be discreet. Bulletin from the city of St. Exil. The structure has been weakened and water can infiltrate the wall. The town will start the repairs soon so they can avoid a collapse before winter. It doesn't look like they had time. It's too late. If I sleep here, they will catch me.
Bagasse.
Let's try to push it now. Now the system should be unlocked. So you're Nico the robot. You don't seem super friendly for something made to amuse kids. Still, he and the museum look shut down for now. Way more welcoming. Special event. Nico the Robot. Don't be afraid of the future. 7 puzzles scattered throughout St. Exil, and therefore 7 tokens to be won. Small and big prizes for the most curious. That's tempting. There's even a tape. This is where I have to put the tokens.
Tu es mon seul ami.
To go back to the church. I'm certainly not done with the place. Ne m'oublie pas. I have to go to this crypt. I feel that I am close to my goal. This key will allow me to explore the church a little more. I've seen the same kind of lock around. I have nothing to put on that cross now. Excellent. Planks removed. This should weaken this son of a brick. Tomb of the Duc de Bliard. He was in charge of defending St. Exil's agricultural and maritime activities. The White Manor is one of the vestiges of this family, who still live in the region. An ingenious system initially developed for its moats made it possible to send water to different parts of the village. Vegetable garden and scriptorium. The ornithologist observed the behavior of the birds in contact with these weird rocks. Note for the ornithologist experimenting in our vegetable garden. We are happy to lend you a corner of the garden, but please do not occupy the rest of the space. Your birds seem to go completely crazy inside their cages. I've taken it upon myself to release them. Nothing. It must have taken a hell of a lot of wood to heat this building. I wonder if they spent more time chopping wood or reading. Woodcutter monks.
J'ai ma faim.
Abbot Rouault, let's find you a place back on that cross. nothing. A lot of activity probably took place here in the past, but it quickly became dismal once the monks had left.
It all started 6 years ago. At the time, I was still a student, and I spent the little free time I had at the bar with my group of friends. In fact, we always went to the same one. We were happy there. What we particularly liked were the concerts organized by the small amateur groups that came by from time to time. Nothing very extraordinary in itself, but the atmosphere they created was magical and went wonderfully with our little evenings based on the cheapest beers we could find. After all, we were still students. And then, there was this group. They had been coming for several days, and their music kind of hypnotized me. The type of rock that you don't forget, and that I haven't forgotten. I must admit that the guitarist had something to do with it. His name was Pierre. There were always these moments after the concerts when the members of the group hung out a bit at the bar, but I didn't dare approach him, and I think he didn't either. The more it went, the more our eyes met, sought each other. I felt that something was happening. One evening, when the effects of the alcohol were strong, I no longer hesitated. I went to see him. From an outside perspective, it was probably embarrassing. At least I would have been. But that didn't seem to bother him. We talked for hours. But it seemed like it was over in an instant. I could see he was shy, and when we left the bar, I grabbed his arm and kissed him. We shouldn't have parted on a misunderstanding. I love this story. Our story. But that doesn't explain why we chose St. Exil to fully live our lives together, does it? At that time, Pierre and I were in our last year of college. We had already been able to take full advantage of the city and its agitation, and even if the years we spent there were fantastic, we really needed a change of scenery. A return to a calmer setting. Yep, that's what we needed. And it was when we were watching a report on a seaside region that we had to click. The landscapes were simply sublime. I always remembered what Pierre said to me at that time. Honey, okay, let's move. We just had time to finish our studies and put some money aside when an advertisement for a house for rent in St. Exil caught our eye. This song? Pierre had written a song about all that.
Hello, Francois. I heard the cult vandalized your property. You have my full support in this ordeal. Glad the storage room is useful to someone here. Leave your things there as long as necessary. P.S. Regarding the flower house garden door, the mayor gave me the handle they used to unlock it. I left it here. During the night from Saturday to Sunday, the property of the presbytery was degraded by the people claiming to be devotees. Given the amount of the damage, the town of St. Exel made the flower house available to its owners as a courtesy residence. They probably wanted to intimidate him, or to keep him quiet. Snow and rain? Not a good mix. Oh, I remember our move to St. Exel. Nature was stunning and the smell of the sea gave me crazy energy. Everything seemed simpler then. Pierre absolutely insisted on bringing all his musical belongings to St. Exel. I remember it made me crazy. But he knew how to buy me with a few songs. Isn't that my house door? Well, at least a piece of it. It feels like a weird dream where all the memories are crashing incoherently in your head.
Je l'avoue.
During our travels, we often underestimate the impact of the seasons on the mood of our faithful companions. Keep it in a sunny and temperate climate, and it will guide you on the right path. Plunge him in the snow and the cold, and to shorten his sufferings, his heart will betray you. Elise, we're going to have to make a choice. And if that's not too much to ask, the good one.
Je l'avoue. N'est-ce pas si joli?
I could question myself whether or not to make a decision, but that would just add one more on my plate. Too easy. Completely locked. I'm going to need something to break those. Completely locked. I hope the content of this tape is as cute as it looks.
Mommy, I like it when you play hide and seek with me. So I'm going to hide the key you are looking for somewhere nearby. And this time, I'm sure you will never find it. Close your eyes and count to 30 up against a tree. These floating things don't look so stable. Okay, I'm going to hide it there. You can open your...
Found it. But we both knew you had no chances against me. I'm gonna need you. Another of these damned four-legged beasts. I'm going to develop a phobia of horses. Yes, I did it. Nothing beats the warmth of a fireplace. Our big house in St. Exil is so much harder to heat than our little city apartment. What other cleaning products give you a radiant whiteness like La Chienne Nature? This is where I have to make him swallow special coins. Too bad I don't have any. No token, no price. All right. Excellent. The flower house once belonged to the Vinio family, which played a leading role in local agriculture. The basement illustrating the former activities of the family can be visited during Heritage Days. An ingenious controllable water supply system of the White Manor made it possible to supply the property if necessary. Ran out of battery a long time ago. Makes this whole house seem stuck in time. I swear, officer, it's not a break-in. The back door was open. Nothing. Someone left a tape. Journaling is not just for grown-ups.
Dad, since we are moving again, the electrician came to change the old digit code in the basement. Because you weren't there, he asked me for a code, and I want to play a game. You never play with me, so now you will have to find the answer all by yourself. It's a 4-digit code. The first is the hour on the living room clock, the one you never replaced the batteries for. Then I've put the minute. And then I've put the number of boat sails in the house. Have fun!
I have never seen a ship like this. The plate is right there, just in front of me. If the water level was higher, I could probably pass through. This is the boat I was looking for. You are near one of the entrances to the White Manor. This path is directly connected to its water system. The Duc de Bliard built its various accesses to defend St. Exel from potential assault. Ultimately never used, over time it ended up a piece of decoration. Nothing. The de Bliard family made their own wine? That's not very common in the area. I wonder if it's good. Completely locked. Nothing. In front of you is the moat system devised by the Duc de Bliard. This system has undergone some modernization over time. Through a rather elaborate logic, the moat can direct its water to supply the Assumption Church, the Flower House, and even the Darrow property at the edge of the Keys. Even if this system has some electrical assistance to facilitate its use, the operation of the system remains fairly basic. I'm missing something to operate this. The wheel won't budge in this weather. It was complicated, but we always knew you would end up in my hands.
Te revoilà.
This door can be unlocked from the other side. I like you. You like me. We should hang. Shrimp fishing guide. A fisherman must have forgotten that here. Some of these tips could be useful. I know that Heritage Day is coming up soon, but I won't be there to open my garden. The manager of the Panier à Crabe restaurant, who is a friend, has a duplicate of the key. He must surely keep the key safe there. I'll let you see that with him. Regards. Back in the city, I knew a few trendies that would kill for this perfectly normal item.
T'es mal, style.
Hey, beauty. There is a cross at the church waiting for you. Hey, beauty. There is a cross at the church waiting for you. The artificial canal in front of you finds its source at the White Manor. The fresh water that came in abundantly made it easier to clean fishing products. As the winter cold can freeze the water and cause this canal to burst, the city built a system to control how much water arrives here at the White Manor. Completely locked. I should keep an eye on the time.
Yu-Gi-Oh! ¿Verdad?
Not this again. What are you doing here? Is that a message for them? Are they using these antennas? I had almost forgotten that dream. both knew you couldn't resist me. I don't have anything on me to enhance my gun. All right. Town of St. Exel, Following on the storm warning, fishermen's lockers need to be emptied earlier this year. Please get your number plates back on the board and revert your locker's codes to their initial values. P.S. In case you forgot, the initial code is your number plate number. All right. This boat has a number plate. No use for you now. Yes! Here we are. I will finally find out what this crypt is hiding from me. Crypt. The desecrations of tombs and vaults. Everything was true. Badges and clothing stolen from Lacren. The devotees planned to strike a blow and take control of the lighthouse. At the same exact moment, people discovered their sordid staging in the church.
if you are here with me tonight, it's because it has chosen you too, my most devoted. We have been preparing for months. The direction of our destiny will finally shift. We've done everything the Protector wanted us to do. We offered it the bodies of all those who wronged it. Each family, through generations, has repaid its debt. Their children's turn has come. Tomorrow, and that's a promise, we will finally be able to get in touch with it. Many people will stand in our way, but their efforts will be in vain. Once the village feast is over, when people will discover our messages in the church, we will infiltrate the lighthouse and take over the basement. We know that the Roc Alcel has equipment to send a message, and we will use it to contact our divinity. Patrick, you will block the front door of the lighthouse so that no one can get out. Hélène, you will help me in the basement. As for the others, you will take care of sending our new offerings. The information that you stole from the ornithologist at the top of the bell tower was decisive. He thought he understood the world by observing the air, without knowing that the truth was hiding at the bottom of our sea. These observations and the offerings we made from the beaches of Saint-Exile allowed me to know where the entity was waiting for us to contact it. Doubt may cross your minds this last night, but be reassured. All our spiritual pains are also our chances of redeeming ourselves. We have reached the point of no return. Tomorrow is our big day. Rest and meet me near the lighthouse at 11 a.m.
This music sheet must be important if she hid it here. It must allow access to information that she kept preciously for herself. Yes, to complete such maps, she most likely found a high vantage point. I understand why the town stopped ordering these. Know what? I will help myself. Generously. They still had some gas in the tank. They were not ready to stop anytime soon. Too many people have access to this damn bell tower, so the craftsman installed a system for me to block the door. Since I'm the only one who knows about music, you'll all have to go through me. Well, I'm going to need to learn the organ to continue upstairs. If I'm good enough, I'll make a duet with Pierre. The atmosphere is incredible. Nothing. Nothing. That bell is gigantic, but this one won't bring chocolate eggs for Easter anymore. This ornithologist had the courage to go upstairs every time? Either you're committed, or you aren't. I really hope to find answers to my questions. No doubt, there was an ornithologist here. There are most likely no better places to study birds in nature. This chair is completely torn up. You spent a lot of time here, didn't you? Compilation of observations on nature and animals. This document is heavy. He's been compiling information for months and months. It will take me some time to study it. Please bring me some answers. I'm so tired. He also left me some kind of nautical maps. That's the sea depth of the village's surroundings. Pages seem to have been torn out of these documents. She must have found a place to send the signal and kept it to herself. I will probably be able to sort through the tapes the spy stole and find out if the lighthouse had any luck recording this thing underwater. With these maps, it will give me the right spot to send that signal. But I need to read through this all first. Nice. I will be able to fire more bullets with this new magazine. I don't have anything on me to enhance my gun. I should keep an eye on the time. With the water gone, it's safe to go down the ladder again. There's something written under that statue. Time often gives the best solution. Probably written by someone with too much of it on his hands. I'm gonna need you. Let's try to push it now. I'm gonna need you. Let's try to push it now. Now the system should be unlocked. Let's take a walk. Just you and me. Let's try to push it now. Now the system should be unlocked. I like you. You like me, we should hang. Let's try to push it now. The lever is pushed, but the blades need an initial push. Wow. Nature had changed a lot in St. Exel, but it seems even worse here. Those mushrooms are symptoms of something much more problematic. I have to hurry to find a solution. I feel like the earth surrounding the tombs has been turned over. All these rumors. No wonder it shows up in a place like this. Looks like the same boat used by the sect for their ceremonies, right next to the desecrated graves. I'm afraid to understand.
Tu es mon seul ami.
I should keep an eye on the time. It's too late for that now. I need to get back home before the night. Completely locked.
Bugas. Je t'aime.
remember. I found this box one morning in front of our house. It just had MB written on it. I went to the post office to check if it was an error, but they were not the ones who delivered it. Opening this box didn't feel right. I can't remember why we did it. Pierre felt the same way about it. Pretty unconventional to receive a hazmat suit out of the blue. We left it in the attic, thinking its owner would show himself. But now I know why you didn't, Matthew Banks. Great. More music stuff from Pierre. He had so many cassettes here. At times, I wondered if he wanted to be mummified with the loose tapes.
Tu m'avais manqué.
Let's listen to what the Rorqual cell recorded at the coordinates found by the ornithologist. I'm sure it's just a big fish. A fisherman? Not really interesting. Found you, you damn submarine.
Transmission 823, 75th day in immersion. The laser is finally operational following the repairs. We sent the first pulse burst at 85 joules minus 1 day. We are getting closer to the residual reflection located above the layer of the whales, the deepest point of the perimeter. Awaiting confirmation before diving below 350 meters. Transmission 823, 75th day in immersion. The laser is finally operational following the repairs. We sent the first pulse burst at 85 joules minus 1 day. We are getting closer to the residual reflection of the layer of the whales, the deepest point of the perimeter. Before diving below 350 meters. Transmission 823, 75th day in immersion. First pulse burst at 85 joules minus 1 day. We are getting closer to the residual reflection located above the layer of the wave. Transmission.
It's missing some points. I should continue decrypting the tapes.
are getting closer to a residual reflection located above the layer of the whales, the deepest point of the perimeter. Awaiting confirmation before diving below 350 meters.
Translation 823, 75th day in immersion. The laser is finally operational following the repairs. We sent the first pulse burst at 85 joules minus 1 day. We are getting closer to the residual
reflection located above the layer of the whales, the deepest point of the perimeter. Awaiting confirmation before diving below 350 meters. Transmission 823, 75th day in immersion. The laser is finally operational following the repairs. We sent...
J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas.
Victor, on le met sur le barbecue. Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées.
Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Dès que je rentre, on le met sur le barbecue.
Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Dès que je rentre, on le met sur le barbecue. Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. Roger!
Transmission 1043, 82nd day. We are still waiting.
Okay, so you were there too.
After the loss of signal 3 days ago now. The non-military personnel in the buildings. The radiation level is back below the threshold value, but a dive below the 400-meter mark still does not seem recommended. At our level, we confirm that the residual image has changed coordinates. The ghost ship will soon be within range. Awaiting your orders. Transmission 1043, 82nd day. We are still waiting for the return of the analysis probe after the loss of...
Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées.
Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Dès que je rentre,
on le met sur le barbecue.
Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote.
J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos.
Three coordinates validated. That should help me pinpoint the location. Let's use these maps on the projector now. 3 coordinates validated. That should help me pinpoint the location. Let's use these maps on the projector now. I have all the points now. Let's try to make one of these maps fit. That's it! The first coordinate is when they approached the area and detected something with their instruments. Then, they circled around the ghost ship and sent out a probe which never returned. Last recording was when they decided to go deeper. And something went very wrong. Poor bastards. Let's send a signal over there and see what's under the sea. To the lighthouse. It was the last day before the nightmare set in, and it was all starting so well. We were playing games when suddenly a detonation echoed throughout the fair. Silence fell immediately, and we exchanged worried looks in an endless second. It was at this moment that 2 fighter planes flew over the place. There were no longer any doubts about the danger of the situation. It duplicated itself? Who do I shoot now? duplicated itself? Who do I shoot now? They threw gas to confuse us. With Pierre, we managed to escape amongst the confusion, and we took refuge at our house. Everything else is hazy at this point. They came from everywhere at once to surround us. Some arrived in trucks, others came out of the woods. They surrounded us so that we had no chance of escaping. So, I have to send a signal to something? To someplace unknown? Doesn't sound too scientific, Elise. Let's hope I don't end up like the submarine. Am I just doing the same shit the cult did? Moment of truth. What? No. What have I done? $12:42. It's the exact time of the attack. Did I fix it? They are all back? Pierre! As my sky was torn forever, I realized life would never be the same again. And I couldn't bear this alone anymore.
Pierre! You probably don't get my messages, but they don't give me much time to call, and they most likely screen my calls. I need to explain. Please, pick up! Pierre? Pierre, are you there? Look, I don't know if you'll get this message. I have to explain to you. You're going to have a hard time believing me. It probably just felt like an hour, but I was locked up for several weeks completely alone. I still have a hard time understanding. I still have a hard time believing it. I think that the time stopped. I managed to trace it back to the cult of devotees that we laughed at together. They managed to send a message to a creature hiding under the sea. I believe it was this message that triggered him to break time. Maybe it wanted to protect itself. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was doing there. It must have something to do with that blue crystal you gave me. It looks like it has the property of modifying time. And because I had it on me, that's why I wasn't frozen like you. They don't want to answer my questions. I think that thing was mining the crystals at the bottom of the sea. Don't ask me how, but I managed to send a second message. Maybe it surprised the creature who decided to run away? This is what you all saw in the sky that day. I hope you believe me. I hope nothing happened to you.